My name is Noah Bennett, and for almost my entire life, my family treated me like I was a mistake they regretted keeping. Not the favorite son, not the smart son, not even the difficult son, just the broken one. My mother said I embarrassed her. My older brother blamed me for ruining his life. And my father, he barely looked at me unless he was disappointed. I spent years wondering why everyone in my family hated me so much. Then one Thanksgiving dinner, a single DNA test destroyed everything they had lied about for over 2 decades. And the truth? It was worse than I ever imagined. I grew up in Austin, Texas. The pain wasn't even anger anymore, it was emptiness. My entire childhood suddenly made sense in the worst possible way. My father, David Bennett, was a respected real estate investor. My mother, Karen Bennett, was obsessed with status and appearances. Our family looked perfect online. Big house, luxury vacations, matching Christmas photos. But behind closed doors, I was treated like a stain nobody could remove. My older brother Tyler got everything. New car at 16. Private school, expensive birthday parties. Meanwhile, I wore his old clothes and slept in the smallest room in the house beside the laundry area. Whenever relatives visited, my mom introduced Tyler proudly. Then she'd look at me and awkwardly say, "And this is Noah, that's it." No smile, no affection, just obligation. When I was 14, Tyler crashed his dad's Porsche after sneaking out drunk, but somehow, I got blamed for it. My father stormed into my room at 2 a.m. screaming, "Do you have any idea how much this is going to cost me?" I was confused. "What are you talking about?" Tyler stood behind him silently while my mom cried fake tears. Then my dad said something I'll never forget. "For once in your life, why can't you stop ruining this family?" I tried explaining I wasn't even there. Didn't matter. They grounded me for 6 months, took away my phone, pulled me out of basketball. And Tyler? He never defended me. Not once. Years later, I finally learned why. When I was 17, I came home early from work one night. My parents were in the kitchen arguing. I was about to walk in when I heard my mum whisper, "We should have told him the truth years ago." My heart stopped. Then my father replied, "If Noah ever finds out, this family falls apart." I stood frozen in the hallway. Before I could hear more, Tyler noticed me. The conversation stopped instantly. That night, nobody looked me in the eyes. And from that moment on, I knew there was something they were hiding. Something big. At 18, I moved out with almost nothing. 2 duffel bags, an old pickup truck, and $340 in my bank account. My father's final words before I left were, "Don't come back asking for money." I slept in my truck for 3 weeks, worked construction during the day, delivered food at night. Eventually, I taught myself coding through free online courses. For years, I worked non-stop while my family acted like I didn't exist. No birthday calls, no holidays, nothing, until Thanksgiving, 22 years after I was born. Out of nowhere, my mother called me, first time in almost a year. Her voice sounded nervous. "Your grandmother wants the whole family together this year." I almost said no, but something inside me needed closure, so I drove back to Austin. The second I walked into the house, it felt strange. Too quiet. Tyler wouldn't look at me. My dad looked stressed. And my grandmother kept staring at me like she wanted to say something. Then dessert came out, and everything exploded. My grandmother suddenly stood up from the table holding an envelope. Her hands were shaking. Then she looked directly at my father and said, "I can't die with this lie anymore." Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. She handed me the envelope. Inside was a DNA test. I looked down at the results, then read the line 3 times because my brain couldn't process it. David Bennett, 0% paternal match. My father wasn't my biological dad. The entire room went silent. My mom burst into tears instantly. Tyler looked terrified. And then my grandmother finally said the words that destroyed my entire identity. "Noah, your mother had an affair." I felt physically sick, but it got worse. Much worse. My father finally snapped. He slammed his hand on the table and screamed. Every time I looked at him, I saw what she did to me. I couldn't breathe. All those years, the insults, the blame, the coldness had nothing to do with me. I wasn't hated because I was difficult. I was hated because I reminded my father of betrayal. And Tyler, he knew for years That's why he never defended me, because protecting me would expose the truth. My mother collapsed crying, begging me to forgive her. But honestly, 3 days later, I got a phone call from a man named Daniel Rivera. He was my biological father. Turns out, he had never known I existed. My mother hid the pregnancy from him completely. Daniel lived in Seattle and owned a successful software company. When we finally met, I expected awkwardness. Instead, the first thing he said was, "I've been missing 22 years with my son." Son, not Borden, not mistake, not disappointment. Son, that single word healed something inside me. Today, I work with Daniel's company as a lead developer. We're still rebuilding lost time. Some days are awkward. Some days are emotional. But for the first time in my life, I know what it feels like to belong somewhere. Meanwhile, my old family completely fell apart after the truth came out. Tyler stopped talking to my parents. My father filed for divorce. And my mother still sends apology texts I never answer. But the craziest part? For years, I thought something was wrong with me, when in reality, I was just born into a house full of secrets. And if there's one thing I learned from all this, it's this. Sometimes the people who make you feel unloved are fighting guilt that was never yours to carry.